So in this video, I want to talk about the role and color of the new EX that's dropping in 20 or so days in celebration of the 2.5 One Piece Bounty Rush anniversary. Now, in my opinion, it's going to be EX Kaido. Some people say it's Sakazuki, but last year we got EX Big Mom. She already had the Bounty Fest, and Kaido has a Bounty Fest but doesn't have an EX yet. So I think it's only fair that he comes. He's also relevant in the anime now, and also he's the only Yonko that's currently a Yonko that doesn't have an EX. So I think it only makes sense that Kaido gets an EX at the moment. And in this video, I want to talk about what color and what role he's going to be, and also discuss the history of EXs in One Piece Bounty Rush. So, the first EX we ever got was a red defender in Blackbeard. He was so strong, he was pretty much unrivaled for 6 months, and he had very few counters like Bikini Nami and Reiju that weren't very popular, and he was super strong until he finally got a counter in Big Mom 6 months later. At the same time, a week later, for the official anniversary, we got blue attacker Shanks. And Shanks was also very strong. He was one of the best attackers. He had the best counter for a long time. And while throughout the months we got better and better attackers, he is still usable today, showing how strong he was a year and a half ago. In the 1.5 anniversary, we got EX Big Mom. That was a blue runner, and she was so good against Blackbeard. She was destroying. The good thing is that, well, it's not really a good thing, but she costed 1,500 gems. So in the past, Shanks and Blackbeard, you could get two Shanks and one Blackbeard for only 750 gems. You could only get one Big Mom for 1,500 gems. So no one was expecting this increase in price, and therefore she was very rare. So unless you were at the top leagues, and at the top of the top leagues, you would rarely see a game with two or three Big Moms since she was so rare. And that was a good thing, Too much Big Mom was not a good idea. She was super strong. She was incredible as a runner. She had all the good traits, especially for back then. And she destroyed Blackbeard, making her very much used. In the Japanese version, she was much easier to get, and therefore you'd see her all the time. So the anniversary came, the second year anniversary, and a week before that we got Green Runner Oden. Now Oden was a better Big Mom. He did everything she did a bit better. Now Big Mom has some advantages, but he was green, he was good against her, and he had very few counters. He was such a good runner, and everything about him was very strong. And we thought he was the peak of Bounty Rush until they dropped the green attacker, Goldie Roger, King of the Pirates. He was such a good attacker, and he was very expensive. So Oden cost 1,500 like Big Mom, but Roger came a week later for 1,750. It would cost you 2,250 or 2,350 to get both. The first anniversary, it would cost you 750 to get 3 EXs. Now it would cost you 2,300 about to get 2 EXs. So as you can see, the price was much higher. Yes, we got more gems, but not that much more gems. But it meant for less of these two than Shanks and Blackbeard. So I guess that was a cool thing. But Roger was insanely powerful. He was unstoppable. Very few counters from before him, and even Bounty Rush needed to nerf him, and they couldn't because they don't like to nerf their EXs. So what they did was they released a counter the month after with Garp. Then after it we got Usopp. Then after it we got Robin. Then after it we got Kid and Law in the same month. So 5 counters in 4 months. And now Roger's in a better place. If you do use the meta characters, he doesn't feel as strong. But if you're using anyone besides the meta characters, he's obviously super strong. Even his counters don't have a guaranteed victory against him, and he still does well against a lot of them. So what role and color is Dragon Kaido going to be? So if we look here, we have 2 greens already, 2 blues already. So it's unfortunate, but he might be red. And the reason why is because it would make sense. We get 2 of each. And also, if we look at the past, the anniversary was red, and we got at the 1.5 a counter that was blue. So now we have green, so it only makes sense that he's going to be red. And that is very unfortunate because at the moment we're currently in a red dominant meta, and the only greens that are used are Roger and Oden. Pretty much, only Luffy and some other characters are still usable. Some blues are still usable, but the reason reds are so dominant is because reds are decent against Roger, but then you cannot use blues because if there's a Roger, he'll destroy you, right? So reds are in the safe bubble again, where you cannot do anything to stop them, because if you do use a blue, well, Roger's gonna destroy you. And so I think the best role for Kaido in the game, the only way to make Kaido somewhat not destroying and to change it up and change the meta is for him to be blue and blue defender. That way, he gets enough damage reduction to be decent against Roger and Oden, but he can also put a stop to all this red going on. However, I just don't see that happening. I also don't see them releasing 3 greens in a row, so I don't think he's going to be a green defender. I don't see him being a red runner. I think he's going to be more of an attacker. So I think he's going to be a red attacker, and I think that's terrible. And the reason why is because there are so many reds that are strong at the moment that releasing another red that's strong is very, very bad for the game, because again, we won't be able to use blues, but because of Roger and Oden, but reds are gonna keep increasing in playtime. So I see him being a red attacker. My hope is that he's a blue defender. That I think is the best for the game to change it up. We've already gotten insane amounts of red characters recently, from defender to attacker, even some runners. So I feel like it's time for blue to shine, and I feel like giving them an EX is the best thing to do for them. Now, at the 1.5, we did get a blue. So again, it's another reason to think Kaido's not going to be blue and red. And, the 222 makes perfect sense. And it's going to be sad, right? He's probably going to be a counter to Roger the same way Big Mom was a counter to Blackbeard. If anything, we could kind of see him to be a counter to Oden more so than Blackbeard, because more so than a counter to Roger, because Big Mom was a counter to Blackbeard, not Shanks. So, well, she was decent against Shanks, but she was a counter to Blackbeard. So he could be a counter to Oden. He could be something similar to Frankie, where he's good against runners, you make him a blue defender. That, however, would not sell. And the reason that wouldn't sell is because you want a counter to Roger. If Roger destroys him, people are not going to pull for him, right? They're just going to go and say, hey, he's bad against Roger, I'm not going to pull. They want you to pull, so he has to be red. Unless they give him the blue defender traits of 100% damage reduction against Roger and Oden somehow, he's going to be a red attacker. He's going to counter them. He's going to deal insane stuff. He might have a transformation. And yeah, that's that for this video. I'm sorry if it's been a bit long. I know there's no editing or anything like that. It was more of a discussion with some tier lists in front of you. But I just want to point out that I hope the game doesn't go down this path. I hope they make him blue, change up the meta a bit, not encourage the red meta to keep going. But hey, Bounty Rush created a devil with Roger, and their solution is to create another devil in the red meta. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed. If anything, if Kaido's red, Robin's still gonna be better against him than if he was blue, so I'll take it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And sorry again for this long video, but I just wanted to make a discussion real quick, share my thoughts, and yeah, peace.